Hey everyone! Welcome back to Cap Tech, where we explore the fascinating intersections of technology, history, and travel. I'm your new host, Janie Rutenkruch. I'm so happy that Cap Tech chose me for this job. I am Cap Tech's #1 fan. I think of him like a big vanilla desert. I mean, seriously guys, check out the links below to buy some of Josh Kappelman's books or his new musical album. The man is simply amazing, and in this gal's opinion, he's one of the most underrated creators and artists of his generation. Today, we're delving into one of the most notorious crimes in Illinois history, the Starved Rock murders. This case has haunted the state for over 6 decades, leaving many to wonder whether justice was truly served. Was the man convicted of these brutal crimes really guilty, or did the authorities pin the murders on an innocent man? Let's dive into the chilling details and the lingering questions that surround the case of Chester Weger. It was March 14, 1960, when 3 women from Riverside, Illinois, Frances Murphy, Lillian Oeding, and Mildred Lindquist, set out on what was supposed to be a peaceful day of hiking in Starved Rock State Park. But what began as a scenic outing ended in tragedy. When the women failed to return to their lodge, a search party was organized. 2 days later, their bodies were discovered in a secluded canyon, bludgeoned to death with a frozen tree limb. The brutality of the crime shocked the nation and set off one of the largest manhunts in Illinois history. The women's bodies were found partially disrobed, but there was no evidence of sexual assault. The crime scene was gruesome, with blood splattered across the walls of the canyon. Yet, despite the severity of the attack, investigators found little physical evidence to point them in the direction of a suspect. For months, the case remained unsolved, leaving the small town of Utica and the entire state on edge. Months passed with no solid leads until investigators began to focus on a 21-year-old dishwasher who worked at the Starved Rock Lodge, Chester Weger. Weger was a quiet, somewhat unremarkable young man, but he had a criminal record for a minor offense and seemed like a plausible suspect. After hours of intense interrogation, Weger confessed to the murders. However, he quickly recanted, claiming his confession was coerced. Despite his retraction, Weger was arrested and charged with the murders. The case against him was largely based on his confession and a small amount of physical evidence, a blood-stained jacket that was never conclusively linked to the crime. There were no eyewitnesses, and the prosecution's case hinged on circumstantial evidence and Weger's dubious confession. The trial was swift, and in 1961, Chester Weger was convicted of the murder of Lillian Oeding and sentenced to life in prison. But even at the time, many questioned the strength of the case against Weger. The confession obtained after a grueling interrogation was inconsistent and lacked detail. Weger's defense argued that the police had coerced him into confessing, and the physical evidence was far from conclusive. Moreover, the timeline of the murders didn't quite add up. How could a lone man, without leaving any substantial evidence, overpower and kill 3 women in broad daylight in a public park? Over the years, new evidence has come to light that casts further doubt on Weger's guilt. Forensic analysis of the hair and fingerprints found at the scene did not match Weger. In 2005, Weger's legal team filed a petition for DNA testing on the remaining evidence, but the results were inconclusive, neither exonerating nor definitively implicating him. Theories have emerged suggesting that Weger may have been framed or that the real killer or killers were never caught. Some believe that Weger, a poor young man with little education, was an easy target for law enforcement desperate to close a high-profile case. Others think that there may have been more than one perpetrator, and that Weger might have been involved but not acted alone. After spending nearly 6 decades behind bars, Chester Weger was finally granted parole in 2019, becoming one of the longest-serving inmates in Illinois history. Despite his release, the questions surrounding the Starved Rock murders remain. Was Chester Weger truly the monster who committed this heinous act, or is he a man who has been unjustly punished for a crime he didn't commit? The lack of definitive answers continues to haunt those who seek justice for the 3 women who lost their lives that cold March day. The Starved Rock murders serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of the criminal justice system and the lasting impact of unresolved questions. Whether Chester Weger was the true perpetrator or a scapegoat for a crime that shocked the nation, his story is a testament to the enduring mysteries that lie beneath the surface of America's most infamous cases. Thanks for joining me on this journey through If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next adventure. And let me know in the comments, what hidden histories are lurking in your local area? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, this is CapTech signing off.